This is absolutely wild as reports are coming out from Bill Simmons that Jeff Bezos has some legitimate buzz as being a potential suitor for the Boston Celtics ownership as they are now up for sale. And we all know this championship squad is going to be abundance of money. So will the new ownership be able to keep the team that Brad Stevens has constructed for championships for now in the future? We'll be diving into all of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Velez. You guys have been absolutely fantastic showing your love, showing your guys' support. We want to let you guys know that if you want to make sure you stay up in all the news with the revolving around this team, 77% of you guys who watch these videos are not subscribed. So hit that subscribe button so you can be the first to get the news. Without further ado, though, let's dive into the topic at hand. Make sure to grab a snack. And like I mentioned in the introduction, we're going to be discussing Jeff Bezos as the owner and what is the likelihood of this happening. Now, like I mentioned in the introduction, we heard a report today from Bill Simmons that discussed this, where he said on his podcast that there's some legitimate buzz around Jeff Bezos possibly being the new Celtics owner. He went and dived in on his video here, and I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of a synopsis. But he basically said that the Celtics, from what he heard, are being on sale from the NBA for around $6 billion. Now, if you divide that by the 30 teams, that would grant around each owner 400 million. Not only would that boost their pockets and make them happy, but also be able to help them push for this expansion that not only the NBA owners but fans want as well. And as we all know, there are two teams that are supposed to be coming in the new expansion, Seattle and Vegas. Now, obviously, the sale of this team from to Jeff Bezos would obviously, increase that, make it happen a little bit faster. The only question mark I really have surrounding around Jeff Bezos and possibly being interested in this Celtics team is with why wouldn't he just be interested with Seattle? If you guys don't know, Amazon's founded from Seattle. Jeff Bezos is from there. And you would think that he'd want to, have a team that is in his city, be in control of that team from his city, have that type of ownership. Now, we do know that the Supersonics did leave due to the fact of their arena, but now with the Kraken, being there and having a stable arena from the NHL, they'd be able to be play over there and kind of transfutable over there. So that's kind of where I kind of stand is I don't really know if Jeff Bezos will 100% be interested in the Celtics, but I think that there's a likelihood chance that he is definitely inclined. And if this is the rumor that Bill Simmons is hearing, I'm inclined to believe it. Now, there have been some other people that have been interested. Jeff Bezos is one of them. Some people that have a minority stake already with the Celtics team, and John Henry with the Fenway Sports Group. We have a report today from Savage Sports per Tony Mazzulla that John Henry and the Fenway Sports Group are not interested in buying the Boston Celtics, and that was also confirmed on Twitter as well. Therefore, that proves to me that the two, kind of rumored suitors that would be interested are Jeff Bezos and people that already have a minority stake already in ownership. Now, as you guys know, with the Gruzbeck family, they are the ones that are looking to sell their majority stake. Now, we all know that that was kind of around the free agency mark, and that kind of scared a lot of fans as well. If you look at the Celtics team and their payroll for this squad here, they're making around $200 million this year, and this NBA salary cap is $140 million. That means they're $60 million above in the second apron with salary of the luxury tax and already have these restrictions. We look further and further down the line. We know Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown have already been given guaranteed their extensions, their max extensions back-to-back years. And Porziņģis, Holiday, Derrick White have been granted long-term extensions as well over those 2 years, with Hauser and Pritchard getting solid serviceable deals. Therefore, the Celtics are already nearing that $1 billion mark. They are $50 million short of hitting that $1 billion mark of being in guaranteed money to these players. So if an owner is to take over, if an owner is to take part in the Celtics ownership, they would have to have the money to be able to take care of this to make sure that Celtics fans are happy for now, but also for the future of their team as well. We all know that we don't want to see someone kind of come up here and kind of tear apart our team that we truly love and a team that we saw win a championship this year and one that we can believe can win championships in the future as well. So I believe with either Jeff Bezos having the money from Amazon A nice $6 billion payment would be pretty easy for him to buy the team, with also, being able to pay another $1 billion in luxury tax would be, pretty serviceable for a guy like him making all the money he does at Amazon. And I'm sure that the people in the Celtics minority ownership group as well would be well inclined to do that as well. But let me know what you guys think down below on Jeff Bezos being a possible owner with the Celtics team. Then we're going to kind of dive in on the likelihood and my thoughts on this type of, you know, acquisition. And would I be in favor of it or would I be looking for somebody else? Now, Chris Mannix from Sports Illustrated kind of dove in and kind of gave a little bit of a synopsis as well. We said the Celtics should and undoubtedly would welcome a Jeff Bezos bid. His deep pockets for the luxury tax paying purposes with a new arena and having a new arena, it would be an A plus. With also the NBA loving to have Bezos part of the ownership group. Now, I do agree with Mannix that the NBA would love to have, a guy in Bezos, a person who owns Amazon, to be invested in the NBA. It would generate them some more name value, maybe some people looking at them, and maybe even some more owners like Jeff Bezos being interested in owning a team. Also would definitely help out the Celtics in their luxury tax. But the new arena does raise a question mark on my end. Now, we all know the Celtics and Bruins do play at the TD Garden, which they have played at for over the last 20 years of my life that I know of. But the Celtics do rent that out. And if Bezos did want a new arena, maybe that's why he's turned off from, the Seattle Supersonics. Maybe they play with the Kraken plays. Maybe he wants to have an Amazon arena over in the city that he takes over. Boston could be that place. The only thing that kind of scares me is where it's going to go and how close it would be to the city. Boston, as we all know, is on water and already has a very populated area in the city of Boston. So where would they be able to put an arena and how would it be able to go? That would be a question mark as well. Maybe that's something that steers Bezos out the way. But honestly, I would be happy with either of these people that are rumored to be the owner. Somebody in the Celtics minority ownership kind of taking over would be great. We all know that they would love to keep this team together. They've already, seen this push. And like I mentioned, Wick Grusbeck was the guy who came into Brad Stevens this year after seeing us make the Eastern Conference Finals year after year after year and said, something needs to change. Something's got to give. We have to move something. We got to do something to get better because this is a championship ready squad and I know it. And lo and behold, where is he right? Celtics won the championship this year. We're going to set up to win the championship for a future years as well with the young talent they have and with Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown still being stars that are rising to the occasion. I do believe that the Celtics ownership would pay for that, and I do believe Bezos would as well. Now, the personal person that I would like to have as my number one pick would be the Celtics minority ownership group, just because I know that they've been with it for at least 20 years. What Grusbeck would allow them, would basically instruct them to do what he had done in the past, and they would listen to that. They obviously have the same beliefs, have the same mindset, and I do believe that they would, be able to talk to Brad Stevens and kind of get that mindset across, similar to how Grusbeck did this season. Now, would Bezos be the guy to do that? He might, but he might just be comfortable owning a team and just chilling back and owning, the most prolific historic NBA franchise. Therefore, he might not be as inclined to make moves, as inclined to invest as much money as, somebody in the ownership group, which could be, a little bit of a weary thing. Now, the legitimacy, the likelihood that I see this happening is a 65 to 70% chance of Bezos getting the ownership if he does put a bid in. He does have the money. He is a guy that, the NBA would love to have, and I'm sure the Celtics would love to have him as an owner as well. Truly, I think it's honestly going to come down to, does the people in the minority ownership want to take over? Is there a big face that would like to be that name to kind of be the front? If that kind of arises, I see that happening more. But if not, Bezos could kind of swoop in, put his money in for the bid, secure the deal, and then the rest is history. We never know. Like I said, let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you guys feel down below in the comment section. What did you guys think? Would you like to see Bezos as the owner? Would you like it to be somebody in the minority ownership group? Or would you like it to be somebody else? A name that we haven't heard. Drop down your thoughts. I love reading your comments. Catch you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. And go Boston Celtics.